because of the theme of this tier, right? When we were talking about it originally, we were going to do QB crash outs. Spoiler alert, that's going to be next week. We are updating our one of our favorite a segment that a lot of people love, man, the crash out series, bro. We did the wide receivers, and hey, according to the feedback, we left a lot of meat on the bone. We there was so much people we could have talked about, but we're doing QB crash outs next week, right? So instead, I said, you know what? To keep it consistent thematically, let's actually talk about some of the greatest rookie QB seasons of all time, greatest sophomore seasons of all time, right? And the reason why I wanted to do that is twofold. Most importantly, when I did the research and when me and Rod did the research, we realized 80s, 90s, 70s, 60s, whenever, pre merger, post merger, pre Super Bowl era, post Super Bowl era, there is a line of demarcation. And that line of demarcation is you either started as a rookie or you didn't. There was an era where rookies did not play maybe 5 or 6 games the most, but you sat your ass on that goddamn bench. And now, if you are a rookie and you are a top pick, you are almost assured to go to play for game one. And I don't know if it's the best. I don't know if it's the best idea, whatever. I just know that there is a clear line of demarcation because, and the reason why I know that is because I have a list, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull the list up right here. This is a list of the best rookie seasons of all time, right? Let me see here. Matter of fact, let me go on here. This is a list of the best rookie seasons of all time. And I'm not really here to rank them. I don't really care about the ranking. I just want to talk about, where we were, how I felt when we were a part of it. Because the top 10 is everything that we're a part of, right? I think Ben Roethlisberger is as far as to go back, aside from Dan Marino in 1983. We clearly weren't a part of that. But everybody else on this list, we seen it in real time, right? So, Rod, starting with Ben Roethlisberger, man, you remember that season?
I do remember that season, Herbie. I do, man. It's just uh can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, good.
Oh, I seen it's muted on my screen. That's why I was wondering.
No, no, I can hear you. I can hear you fine. You're good.
Nah. The funny thing about that season, Herbie, is that I just remember Big Ben not being that impressive to me. And you look back, he had over 2,000 yards. He had 17 touchdowns. So obviously, he played way better than I remember. But I just remember that Steelers team just being really great and him just being a beneficiary of it, right? Like he was 13-0 as a starter in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken. So it's one of the greatest
Yeah.
like seasons we ever seen, right?
Yeah,
But
he didn't lose. He didn't lose until I want to say he didn't lose until they got to the AFC Championship and when they played the Patriots. So I I'm with you, but I'm also not with you because there was too many times where he made plays where you're like, "Oh, he's going to be special eventually." Right? Like, yeah, he's playing the game manager role. He's a glorified game manager, but in the heat of the moment when the bullets were flying,
he
he
made
was
plays.
able to he made plays, right?
Yeah, he
Like
made.
he had a very 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 similar experience to Tom Brady when Tom Brady started his first year. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just the ultimate game manager. And I they literally I think he didn't he didn't lose until he got to the AFC Championship, dog. Like hey, that's
That
pretty
was just a great
crazy, bro.
Steelers team too, Herbie. Like that team was just like Greg said, like the defense was so good. That's back in the Palomalu days. The James Harrison days. Back when they had a squad. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah, for real.
Rome
And
Pettis,
and
the bus. How can you forget the bus? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that team was loaded. They had everywhere. I mean, because they had Hines Ward. The whole team was loaded. They had the O line, everything. It was a great situation for a young quarterback to go into, and I think he took over for Greg Maddux, right? Or Tommy Maddox or something like that.
Yeah, Tommy. I think it was Tommy Maddox.
Yeah, Tommy Maddox. So he took. I remember they took him out, they put him in, and then he just rolled that puppy all the way through, bro. So I mean, I get what you want to say. Like I remember, because I remember I was a hater. I was like, man, bro, it's the team, bro. He got a great team around him, bro. Y'all trying to give him all this credit.
I still remember my feelings from that time because I was, back then, I'm a Dolphin fan. It's the Steelers, and back then the Steelers were one of the popping teams, right? Like they were a team that people used to bandwagon. You know what I mean? So there were tons of Steelers fans in South Florida. So they used to always talk about, oh yeah, the Steelers. It's just like, man, what you mean, bro? And they would talk about Big Ben, like Big Ben was some savior. And I'm like, do you see who he's playing with? Come on, man. Like, let's be real here. But no, looking back though, Herbie, if you look at how he performed his rookie season, it's not shocking that he went on to win 2 championships. You know what I'm saying? And then he went on to another Super Bowl where he lost to an all-time great quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. So, even though I wasn't impressed with him his rookie season, you look at what he did later in his career, especially when he had all those 3-headed monsters at receiver. When you think of
for sure.
Antonio Brown, Martavius Bryant, when he had those, when he had Le'Veon Bell, it's actually kind of crazy they never really got to another Super Bowl with that group. When you look back, it's kind of insane.
I mean, bro, you got to understand, bro, the AFC, especially at that time, bro, you got to think about it, bro. You're in the same conference with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, bro. Like, so it checks out, dog. So they got that one. This one, 2016, Dak Prescott, man.
He had a damn good rookie season, though.
Y'all know how I feel about Dak. Y'all know I think he a buster. Y'all know I think he's a loser. Y'all know this. That will never change. I'm never coming up off of that. But what Dak did in 2016 was special. I will never take that away from him. Right? Like, I still, to this day, do not agree with him starting or not giving the job back to Tony because that team was so good. I tell people all the time, if Tony was on that team, and Tony Romo, I truly believe it, bro. Based off of what he was doing in the preseason, based off of how he finished the season before, based off of all the reports, Tony would have won a Super Bowl. I really believe we would have won a Super Bowl that year. So that's how good that team was. But nothing to take away from Dak. Dak was awesome. What, 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions? I think we won like 11 straight games. It took one of the greatest throws of all time from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time to beat us in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just
that year too. Zeke was nasty.
Bro, it was a great, bro. The team was phenomenal, dog. But he was legitimately good. Like, he brought something that I will say that Tony never brought, which was true stability, true calmness, right? Like, even when Tony is throwing 500, having a 500-yard game, bro, you still are doing this when Tony's playing, dog, because you know something bad is going to happen. You feel me? You like this, bro. You know something bad is going to happen. And example, the best game of Tony Romo's career,
against
band for band, against Peyton Manning, 55 touchdown Peyton Manning, bro. Overtime, first pass, throws a pick. Right?
Right in Danny Trevathan's chest, bro. I remember that game. I watched it live.
When I remember, that's the one thing that I would say is that year I just saw balance to the offense. You feel me? Because, we became really Tony-centric. Dak brought balance. Dak brought a maturity. Dak brought a calmness, right? And he legitimately, easily had one of the greatest rookie QB seasons of all time, bro. Another one, 2012, man. Rod, talk to me about Russell Wilson in 2012, bro. Think about this, because the other 2 guys that were drafted with him is on this list too. That, like, history robbed us from arguably the greatest quarterback class of all time, bro. What could have been the greatest quarterback class of all time, Rod? Like, that is insane, bro. So, Russell Wilson, I remember the story of him beating Matt Flynn out because they said Matt Flynn was supposed to be the starter. And then, Pete Carroll got 2 eyes, clearly, that work. It was like, this guy's clearly better. Like, and shout out to Pete Carroll because that takes some nuts because they just paid Matt Flynn. I think they gave him $12 million or $40 million at the time, which was a lot of money back then, bro.
But Herbie, what's crazy about that is not like if some kid who never heard of Matt Flynn's name heard about how much he got paid, they'd be like, oh, what kind of season did he have? Oh, he didn't have a season. He had one game at the end of the
He had
year.
one game.
Like
He had one game.
he got paid for that game. So that was never gonna work. Pete Carroll just had a great vision, dog.
Nah, and like Russell was special. He was so special because Russell was truly a magician. And this is the thing I hate about it. Well, I'll say this. Let me rephrase it. This is why I love that we're doing this, because it gives us time to, reassess people and remember what made them great. Remember why we talk about these guys the way that we talk about them. Remember what was special about them, right? There's a whole generation of kids who have no idea how cold, and I mean cold, Russell Wilson was. Peak prime, let him cook Russ was a monster. He was a monster. I still don't agree with him losing out that MVP to Tom Brady, because I think that year he accounted for 70% of the team's touchdowns, bruh. Like,
Yeah.
like in his rookie season, you knew that out the gate. You're like, damn, like they just win, like winning play after winning play after winning play, breaking the pocket, extending plays, throwing moon balls, bro.
I
Like,
gotta tell you, Herbie, he's one of the only quarterbacks I can remember that played with a visibly terrible offensive line, but his skill set was able to completely overcome it because he's one of the best play extenders at quarterback we've ever seen. Right? He doesn't get that credit now, but before Mahomes, before some of these younger guys, Russ was a guy who the offensive line would break down constantly, and it didn't matter because he didn't play within the structure. Herbie, he was one of the first quarterbacks we saw be really great, and he never played within structure. He was playing street football his whole life, and we just didn't know. We just didn't know until he lost his athletic ability, which is kind of
yeah,
hilarious.
facts. Yeah, facts. And that's the thing, man. That's why you can't rely on athleticism. You at some point, like we seen it, and we have two more examples of that, right? So I don't want to drive the cart home before we actually talk about them, but at the end of the day, you got to be a fundamental. Like Tom didn't play to his 40s and be elite and throw 40 touchdowns at 40 years old because he's Mike Vick. No, bro, because the man knows how to read defenses and he knows how to throw the ball, bro, to where it needs to go, bro. So, next person on the list, man, Andrew Luck, same year. Ironically, Andrew Luck's rookie season was so good that the rest of his career he's been underrated and overrated at the same time, but his rookie season was phenomenal. He took a terrible, like, there's guys who are franchise changers and guys who are supposed to be number one picks and they're supposed to actually change the franchise. The reality of the situation is there might have been like 5 dudes ever that could actually do that. Peyton Manning is one of them. John Elway is one of them. Cam Newton is one of them. Spoiler alert, Cam is on this list too. The list is very, very small of guys who legitimately could do that. Like, the expectation is a number one overall pick is supposed to change the franchise. The reality is Sam Bradford was never going to change the franchise, right? Like, Trevor Lawrence was never going to change the franchise. Like, those guys just weren't that good. It's very rare to have somebody who could truly carry shit. Like that's not easy. What Andrew Luck did, taking a team that went out of its way to make sure that they got him, and by being very bad, and essentially with the terrible GM and Ryan Ballard, like Ryan Ballard got a bunch of jobs, or he got to keep his job way longer just because how good Andrew Luck was. Like, even in that draft, all they did was draft T.Y. Hilton and Andrew Luck, and that was it. Like, and they took a 2-win team to an 11-win team that had 7 comeback game winning drives, bro. And I think that's the same year when they beat the Chiefs, right? When they came back for like 30 points down
Yeah,
in
I
the
think it
playoffs.
was like a 44-45 game or something like that. Yeah, where they were down like a crazy lead, and the Alex Smith Chiefs, they choked the lead away, Herbie. They choked the lead
Yeah,
away.
bro. It it was very special, dog. Like it was so special, and it's just crazy that all of these dudes came from the same draft, that 2012 draft. Like that was supposed to replace the 83 draft as the greatest quarterback of all time. But we saw what happened, man. Um,
And you know what's sad about Andrew Luck, Herbie, is the fact that
yeah, go ahead.
the Colts, and I just want to just put this one point out there.
No, go ahead. You can elaborate if you want to.
The Colts as a franchise handled his situation so poorly in terms of they never were really able to put a really good, consistently good offensive line around him, and he got beat to hell. Now, part of it was when he was starting early in his career, he used to hold on to the ball quite a bit. But, it got to a point where the coach just didn't really do him any favors. And it got to the point where he fell out of love with the game, Herbie. He retired early. This is a guy who threw 40 touchdowns in a season, back in the 2010s era.
Not only did he retired after the best season of his career. Like he had, the season that he retired was coming off of the season where he had like a 93 grade with PFF. Like that last season, he was a monster. But like you said, the franchise beat it out of him, dog. Like that sucks, man. We were robbed from somebody who could truly save the AFC South from being the mediocrity pit that it is currently, dog. Like, like, damn, man, damn. All right, well, another one, man. Robert Griffin III, man. Go ahead, Rod. This was a phenomenon. This was a meteor. Like,
No, Herbie. I mean, when you really think about RG3's first season, Herbie, when you compare him to Andrew Luck and you compare him to Russell Wilson, like he had the best rookie season out of the three of them, and it's just so tragic that them choosing to force him to play that playoff game against the Seahawks completely altered the trajectory of his career. Like RG3 might be one of the all-time great quarterbacks that we never got to actually experience because he was mishandled by the Washington Redskins. Not the Commanders, not the football team, Dan Snyder's Redskins. And he had one of the most impressive rookie campaigns we ever seen. I don't even know if people remember Herbie, and I don't know why I remember weird things like this. The Redskins started 3-6 that season. They ended up finishing 10-6 with the final game being against the Cowboys, in which your boy Tony.
don't remind me, dog. You just open up a deep rooted like core memory that I've been. It was a crazy game, bro. And Tony went full Tony, man. Like we could have won, but Tony decided, no, we're not gonna win, bro. If it's in my hands, we're going home because I want to go play golf. So, like, but no, man.
I'll tell you, Herbie. Before Lamar was a thing, like Robert Griffin III was a thing, right? Like, but the problem with Robert Griffin III, Herbie, which I think anybody who watched him remembers, every time you saw him run, you just wanted him to either slide or get out of bounds. Like it was just like RG3, you're so little, you can't take these hits. And lo and behold, Herbie, he had his great rookie season. He had that injury that he never came back from, and I just remember thinking, watching him his rookie year, that hopefully he would recover and he would take back off, and he was never the same, never the same again. Crazy, dog.
No, and it's funny because I'll say this, right? Because it doesn't matter. We don't. Again, we don't care about the order. We don't give a fuck about the rank. So I'll say this: it's ironic and it's hilarious how I don't want to say the word reincarnation, but it feels like that because if you think about it, Jaden Daniels is the upgraded version of RG3. Like the way they play, down to what they do well, how they run, how they attack the field, throwing beautiful passes that hit dudes in the hand. Like that's what made RG3 so special was his deep ball accuracy, the way he could just float it. Like RG3 at Baylor, he threw like 50-something touchdowns when he won that Heisman, bro. He was a problem. Like
this man as a rookie, he threes in his first game, Herbie, in a shootout. that was the mark of something great.
I hate that he's such a cornball now, currently, because it colors who he's supposed to be. Like, there's a whole generation of kids who don't know him to be like RG3, the phenomenon. Like, what we felt like, what people who were in watching the NFL in 2004, from 2001 to 2004, when they felt like when they're watching Vic, we got that with RG3. Now they just see this dude over here talking about how much he loves milk, bro. A fucking corny nigga. But it is what it is, dog. Like, it is what it is. He was absolutely special. We could blitz through the next couple guys because we're going on long, bro. CJ Stroud, bro, it was special. Like, it was legitimately
His
special,
rookie year
man.
was great.
His rookie year was great, man. Cam. All right, we got to devote some time to Cam, bro. We got to devote some time to Cam, bro. Bro, I watched Cam every single game that Cam played at Auburn. Cam was a phenomenon. Cam is a once in a generation talent, not football player like historically, whatever, right? But I'm just talking about the physical skill set, the talent. 2, your first game, throw for 425 yards.
Ridiculous.
Out the gate. He had 15 rushing touchdowns as a rookie, Rod.
35 total.
Like,
35 total touchdowns, bro. Rookie year. Crazy.
Like, what?
700 yards rushing.
What?
Yards passing as a rookie. His rookie season was actually super impressive, Herbie. It was super impressive, man.
It was insane.
Like, looking back,
it was fucking insane, bro. Like, it was legitimately out of control, bro. Like, this was nuts. Like, I was just like, bro, Cam was really a problem. Like, legitimately a problem.
400 his first 2 games, if I remember correctly.
It was first 2 games. It was back to back. The only person to do that the first 2 games throw for 400 yards, bro. So think about this, bro. He started the season 2 games in, already had almost 1,000 yards passing, bro.
Ridiculous.
Like, it's ridiculous, bro. All right, we got Dan. We're going to save Dan. We got Justin Herbert, bro. Get out of here. Yes, you did set the rookie passing touchdown. You were fucking amazing. We're not going to hold that. And then we got Jaden Daniels, obviously, bro. Just special.
No, he's the rookie god, Herbie. Like, he made it to a freaking championship game. Like, and he was the driving force. It's not like a Big Ben situation where Big Ben was not I don't want to say carried by the team, but essentially, yeah. You know what I mean? But
all right.